Welcome back to another episode of Import Modify. On this episode, I got a lot of packages in, so we're gonna unbox and unwrap them. And as you saw, I got a turbo. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Stay tuned. Alright guys, as you can tell, I got a lot of packages in, so I'm going to go ahead and go over them briefly with you. So to start things off, I got all the and fittings that I need right here to get the turbo drain and rear head drain to work with the engine block. And for the engine block itself, I have this 90-degree adapter right here, which is a -12 to a 3/4 NPT thread, and that's what I researched was the size I needed to mount it to the block. So I got that with these this T fitting here, and these are -12, so I have to go to -10, so I got these reducers to make it work with all the -10 fittings. Got some more -10 line for the drains to make it all work in case I need more, and I got some -6 fuel lines, -6 end connectors right here for the fuel lines. I got me the seal in finally for the input shaft on the transmission. They just threw in a nice little European candy, so I'll try that later. And I got me on the turbo side of things, I got the Emusa HX35W turbo. This is the same size turbo that comes on the 5.9 Dodge Cumming diesel trucks, but it has an aftermarket billet turbine wheel in there, and it's supposed to work better with the gasoline application, so I went with that. And the Emusa is a budget turbo, but what I researched, it's a pretty good budget turbo, so I decided to go ahead and purchase that. Give that a try and see how well it does. But to make it work, I got the adapter pieces right here for the drain and also for the feed line. So those need to be bolted onto it. And to make that fit, I had to get me a spacer because the housing on the turbo interferes with the manifold. So this is a 19mm spacer. And to make all that fit, I had to get longer exhaust studs. And this is actually a GM part. It's a GM exhaust stud. It's 66mm long, and it's 10 by 1.5, which is the size I need to bolt it into the manifold. So I got all those so we can bolt that on. And I ended up getting me some NGK Iridium spark plugs. And for the spark plugs, I ended up getting me some aftermarket coil packs. And these are Max Speeding Rod budget coil packs. Decided to go ahead and give these a try and see how well they work. So I got all that, and I ended up getting me a external oil cooler setup because I decided not to go with the factory oil cooler because they have the coolant lines that feed in and out of it, and this will make the plumbing look a lot cleaner underneath the intake manifold. So I got this sandwich plate here. It's a thermostat controlled. It has a thermostat in there that opens up at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And this external oil cooler, and underneath it has the -10 lines to make it all work and all the fittings right here. But on the fitting side of things for the engine block, it's right here. This actually seals with an O-ring from the factory, so you have to take this out. And to make the sandwich plate work, I had to get this adapter piece right here. I got this from Raw Brokerage, and this allows you to screw this in where that factory piece is, and allows you to use these adapters here to tighten the sandwich plate down. So we got all that, and also I got intercooler piping, which is 2.5 inch, And once I figure out the combination of piping I need, I will be welding some pieces together to minimize the amount of couplers that I'll be using on the car. So that way I won't have problems with a whole lot of boost leaks and be questioning all kinds of couplers. So we got all that stuff in. We got enough to get some things going here. And as you can tell, I got the car in the lift bay because we will be starting on that pretty soon, getting everything taken out of the engine bay and getting all that stuff prepped and ready for paint. So to start things off with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the gasket for the adapter plate for the throttle body. And I got my paper right here, my gasket paper. So we're going to go ahead and trace that out, make the gaskets, and then we'll get the throttle body mounted up to the manifold. And then from there, we will probably mount the sandwich plate and then move on to the plumbing and turbo and everything else. So cool. Stay tuned, guys, on this. Let's go ahead and start this thing, and we'll see how far we can go. All right, guys, so I got the gasket all cut out and everything. So this is good to go. And the way it's going to have to work is this right here is going to be on the Freddy intake manifold. And this right here is going to mount to the Freddy intake manifold. And this adapter's got the smaller holes and the orifice for it to make it work with the factory throttle body. And that's going to be bolted onto that. So you're going to have to start by bolting 2 bolts up right there. These 2 bolts are going to mount to the throttle body, and then you have 2 through bolt holes right here, which is going to finish the mounting point to the Freddy intake manifold. And that's the gasket, obviously, that we just made. And this is the factory gasket right there for the throttle body. But looking at the bracket placement on the Freddy intake manifold, they have the brackets on the outside, and if you were to look at the throttle body itself, the Nissan logo is up on the top, and if you were to put that up, the throttle cable would have to mount on the inside. Now, that's not the way it's going to be working, so we're going to have to flip it upside down, mount it this way in order to utilize the bracket to have the throttle cable mount up the way that this is intended to be used. So these are actually for coolant lines to go through right here for cold startup. So we're not going to be using these, so I'm going to take my Dremel tool and cut these tabs off real quick, and then after we're done with that, we will get to mounting this throttle body up. So I got my Dremel tool ready over there. Let's go ahead, cut these off real quick, and then we'll get to mounting this up. Alright, so things came out really nice on the throttle body. Looks pretty good. I'm kind of questioning, though, the distance that it comes out. I guess time will tell once I put it in the engine bay and see exactly how it's going to work with the intake charge pipe. So we'll see. We'll come across that bridge whenever we cross it. But now I'm going to go ahead and remove this fitting right here and take it out. And I was looking at the adapter right here, the sandwich plate, and it don't mount like this because your fittings come out right here for the cooler line. So I'm probably going to have to mount it up like that to where it feeds out, and it puts it in a good position to face the front of the engine bay. So that's the way I'm going to go with it. But these tabs here, they are you know, exposed, so it will rust if I don't do something about it. So I'm gonna take this off, and then I'm probably going to get a little creative just to throw a little bit of paint on the tabs, and that way I can let it cure and we won't have to worry about rust. So I'm going to take this out real quick and then I'll mask it off and just kind of throw a little bit of paint. Being careful not to paint all the other stuff with overspray, so let's go ahead and do that and we'll figure it all out. Alright, I was able to mask it off and get the tabs painted, so that's good now. And I installed this adapter piece here from Raw Brokerage, and it's installed now. So the way that it works is we're going to use this piece here. It's going to go through that center right there, and it's going to thread onto the adapter, and that's what's going to tighten down the sandwich plate. And like I said before, we're going to angle it like this so that it faces towards the front of the engine. And I'm going to use RTV right here whenever I tighten it down so that it can cure and make 100% seal. And also I'm going to go ahead and use some Teflon paste on the adapter pieces with the O-rings they supplied, just so that I have a peace of mind that this will be sealed as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all mounted up on the sandwich plate, and then we'll get it bolted in, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, so it's getting a little late tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. We did make a little bit of headway, so we got the throttle body mounted now, and we got the sandwich plate with the fittings on there, and it's in a good spot, so we're good to go. I'm going to let that RTV cure overnight. So I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll pick up where I left off. Alright guys, back in the garage for another day. So today we're going to be focused on mounting up the turbo and doing the plumbing. So I have the feed and the return right here. We'll be mounting those onto the turbo, and then these are the pieces that are going to go to the block. So we have this 90-degree angle piece here, 3/4 NPT thread that goes to the block. This is a -12. It's going to mate to this T-fitting right there, and this is going to be the connection that's going to go to the rear head drain, and this will be the connection right here that'll go from the turbo down. So I'm going to have to use my reducers right here that are going to bring the -12 to a -10, because the lines and fittings for all that's -10. So first we're going to go ahead and mount these up. Then after that we will install these onto the block, get the turbo mounted to the exhaust manifold, and then from there we'll go ahead and figure out the plumbing and get all that tied in. So let's go ahead and start it. Alright guys, just like with all projects, expect hiccups and things that don't quite go your way. I ran into a couple, so let me go ahead and tell you what it is. Looking at the turbo itself, yeah, it needs to be clocked. That's not a big deal. That's not the issue. But look at the wastegate. Look how far that sticks out on the wastegate. I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem when I go to put it in the engine bay. Could be because I'm not sure exactly where it's going to fit in the engine bay. And it could interfere with the strut tower right here. But if I'm lucky, it'll sit like right in this area. And I'd be okay, but I don't know. Hopefully I have clearance on that. Hopefully that won't be a big issue. But look how far that sticks out. What were they thinking? Why would you put it right there? Oh, anyway. This elbow fitting, it fit in there just fine. I got it, you know, nice and tight in the upright position. Only thing is when I ordered it, it said it was a -12. So I went to fit my -12 piece on there, and it's too big, so this is a -10. And I didn't order a -10 T-fitting, so I don't have everything I need to make the drains work yet, so kind of backpedaling at this moment, but things are what they are. I'm just gonna have to figure something out in between. So this kind of puts a stop on things for now. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of guesstimate some measurements and see exactly where it's gonna be in the engine bay. But it does look good. The spacer on it is good, and I got clearance from the manifold now, and I think it looks pretty good. It's a pretty big turbo. I didn't realize how big this turbo was, but anyway, hopefully I won't have mad boost lag, but we'll see whenever that time comes. So yeah, let me figure out what I'm gonna do, and we'll get back to you. Alright guys, so I got the turbo clocked now, and it's in a position that it should be in. I believe that would be a good spot for it with the inlet facing upward. Now this is a V-band right here. So I'll just get me a V-band 90-degree pipe that will come off of this. And then we'll just have to make that work to the intercooler piping. So that's cool. I think that's in a good position where it's at. It looks pretty good. And I had to clock it just a little bit slightly more to the left than being up and down, but whenever I looked at the oil pan, I noticed that the oil pan is slanted as well, and this engine is going to sit slanted towards the driver's side. And what that means is, with it slanted towards the driver's side, this is going to be facing more downward, and it's not going to be like it's facing straight out like that, so it's going to take away the distance of it coming out with it being slanted downward. So I have that working for me. I got my fingers crossed that everything will fit fine whenever I put it in the car. But I did notice that this is interfering with the housing right here, this little stud piece on the exhaust manifold. So I'm going to go ahead and take this turbo off real quick and grind this down, and then just put it back like it is, and that should cure all my problems. And I also need to, you know, go over and make sure I tighten all the exhaust side bolts up to the turbo, because I wasn't able to get this one just tight enough because of the clearances I have right there. So let's go ahead and take it off, tighten those down, grind that down, put it back on, see how we look. Alright guys, so we got it all ground down now, and the turbo fits well. And this is the area I ground down. And as you can tell, I have plenty of room between the housing and the exhaust manifold now. So we are indeed good. And I did leave it loose, so it is sagging, but with it in the tight position like that, I have more than enough clearance to make it work. So we're good to go on that. I have no issues about that. The only issue that I'm worried about is the position of this wastegate. But I was looking at the drain, and another little thing I come across is the position of the drain and the position of the elbow. And it's going to have some gnarly bends in order for the drain to meet to this elbow, even with the T-piece on it. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is ordering me another one of these pieces right here, and I'm just going to get it to come out straight. That way I can just go ahead and make just an even bend, and I'll have a T-piece right here, and then the head drain will come down to the T-piece right there, and I think that'll work a lot better. So I'm going to have to reorder this, and you know, a couple other little things, probably a couple of -10 angled fittings because I got mostly straight ones, and I don't think I have the one that I need, but I'll just order a couple other parts so I can get this to work, and hopefully I don't have an issue putting this into the car. And I was trying to gauge, just looking, you know, with my eyes, because I can't find my tape measure. I think I left it at the house, but this basically is the middle right here. Those two holes are the center of the cross member. So looking at that, here would be the side of the engine. It'll be turned downward. And looking at the engine itself, it's not quite in the middle, and it's towards the back. So hopefully it'll put me right in the sweet area here to have the clearance that I need. If not, then I'm gonna have to order a different turbo and you know, start over on that. But anyway, I'd like this turbo to fit because it's a nice turbo, and it's just these things you run across, man. You know what I'm talking about? You got projects, you're gonna build cars, you're swapping stuff that don't belong in cars, and this is what you come across. You know, you can't sit there and kick yourself in the ass about it. You just gotta, you know, see what you got to do, get the right parts ordered, and move on from there. And like whenever you're building a car, you know, it just goes to that saying, whatever price you have in your mind, triple that, because that's what happens. You run into snags and you got to order more stuff. Stuff don't work out and you got to order even more stuff. And something like a turbo, you know, this turbo may not work out. I may have to order a whole different turbo, but it is what it is. You know, that's why I go on the budget side of things. And, you know, if I do have to order another turbo, I'm not like down $1,500. So I can save the turbo for a different project and I can get another turbo. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You know, there's just a lot of what ifs right now. So anyway, I do dig it. I like the way it looks. And it's a really nice turbo. It really looks good on the engine. So I hope it fits. I keep saying that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode, guys. Got to order more parts, you know, and get things sorted out. So y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell so when I upload new content, you guys get it. Have a nice day.